Alrighty, they're suggesting that you start. And hello, can you hear me?
PR?
I don't know if he can hear me or not with the things on. That's so he can hear him. I'll let him start. Then we're going to find his wave. And then they'll bring in their wave. Just breathe slowly and gently and try to feel the slowness of the wave that TR is playing right now. Try to feel the music first. While you're doing that, bring your attention to your vapor wave, US wave. Feel your vapor wave self moving, undulating ever so slowly. Nice vertical undulation with nice slow tones. You close your eyes and feel there's a side-to-side gentle oscillation movement as your vapor wave begins to communicate with the wave of sound that TR is playing. Feel the difference as the voice of the flutes come in. Allow your body to move a little with the wave, side to side. You can put your hands up and see if your palms can sense the gentle undulation in the air in front of you. You can raise them up around shoulder height as the oscillation is stronger there. You may feel tingling on your palms as your vapor wave begins to go into quiet communication with the music sounds around it. For music is one of its many languages. That part of you that is vapor wave is a living song unto itself, and part of a symphony. It is the symphony of the cosmos. With your palms facing out, move your hands down a little bit to where your palms are about at breast level, but out to the sides facing forward. There's a rippling effect that will begin as your vapor wave begins to interact and gently dance with a wave of sound that is being played in the music. And the wave of the music is much larger than the wave of the music that your ears are actually hearing. Your vapor wave can actually hear those sounds. Let your hands move from the wrist as your palms gently undulate with that wave as you feel it rolling gently up and down past your palms. That is on the back wall is beginning to gently flap its little folds in tune with the undulation of the wave. If your hands want to feel that folding in and out, allow them to move. Try to sense the folding in and out of the Aragon field. Every time it closes, it transmits a little poof of Ananda code frequency into the room and then opens again. When it opens, it's inhaling, and when it closes, it's exhaling and sending little poofs of Ananda code frequency into the room. Now imagine for a moment that the sounds that your ears are hearing are actually coming from something you are creating. Pretend for a moment that your hands, in moving through the air in front of you, are actually making these sounds. As you move your hands, the sounds come from the molecules of the air. As if the hands are dancing with the air. You may feel a bit of tingling on the tips of your fingers as your plasma body chakras in the tips of your fingers begin to activate in relation to the Ananda codes that are gently beaming into the room. And once again, if you don't want the activations that are taking place, simply choose not to, and you don't have to follow along with any of the meditation from here. Holding your palms still facing outward, about shoulder height, your fingers pointing up straight. Begin to wiggle your fingers just slowly and gently in the air. There is a crystalline matrix carrying the next level of activations of the Ananda codes that is gently hanging in the air in the room now from the broadcasts of the Aragon folding at the back of the room. And if you desire to bring those frequencies in, to yourself for activation. Gently move your fingertips and inhale, but also inhale through your fingertips. And gently move them to let that frequency come in little streamers carrying the codes. It looks like millions of little symbols on streamers running into your fingertips and down through your arms, and then up into your shoulders, and then across into your Azare area. Try to sense that as this occurs, there's an electromagnetic field that builds between your hands. Even though their palms aren't facing each other yet. Usually you have to play with your palms together, like pointing them at each other, with the chakras pointing at each other, to get that where you feel a magnetic repulsion. Try to sense that's happening even just between where your thumbs are facing each other. It's still distance. Now gently turn your palms toward each other. And sense the size of that field, where you start to feel that little bit magnetic repulsion. Now we're going to make it bigger and stronger. We're going to take a 2-point inhale in a second. We're inhale downward from the crown chakra, and then upward at the same time from earth core into the Azare, and we're going to be inhaling the frequency, a burst of frequency from our vapor wave. So we inhale it into the Azare. And on the exhale, we're going to split it and send part down each arm and out each palm chakra. So it makes a big burst in the center of your palm space. And gently play with it a little by moving your palms a little closer together, not touching, just a little closer, a little further. As you play with it, it actually builds its charge. There's a sufficient charge now between your palms to form this, what almost feels like a rod of energy between your chakras. You can form it with one more 2-point inhale and then exhale into a sphere of energy, like a little basketball. Move your fingers around it now as if it's like a basketball of energy. This is going to be your quantum charge that you're going to use to take your vapor wave on a journey to the Paragon Infinitum. So we're going to take this energy ball and bring it down in front of your heart chakra. Bounce it a little bit between your palms again to just slowly to build its frequency, because when you move it, it kind of loses a little quantum. You can do one more 2-point breath to put some more quantum back into it. Try to feel its fuzziness against your fingertips. And before we use it to quantum amplify your vapor wave, first try to sense its color or its primary tone. Now these will change the more you play with this, and the more you, at different times, you will find different tones and different colors. But right now it tells you something about the primary frequencies of encryption that are turned on in your, not just your DNA, but in your marketer fields as well. So try to sense or see with your inner vision the color of the energy in that ball. And try to hear as if it's floating within the music that your ears are hearing, a particular tone that seems to vibrate in the same way that the energy ball does. It's alright if you don't hear them. They'll be there and you may dream them. So now we're going to take the energy ball and we're going to bring it to the chakra 4, which connects with your D4 astral field, and hold it in front of your chakra 4 and then inhale it in. So as you inhale, slowly pull it in to chakra 4. And hold at the top of the inhale a bit. And on the exhale, make that energy ball do a starburst where it just goes like starburst, spherical fireworks from your heart chakra all the way around. And notice that as soon as you did that, the tube of the plasma body level of your 4th chakra just shot out so far in the future, in the front, you can't see it, and so far back into the past, you can't see it. This is a good thing. The next stage is we're going to bring this energy up to chakra 5. There's still quantum left of the encrypted energy ball that you made. So we're going to inhale it up to chakra 5 in the throat. Again, starburst it out there. Again, the front back tube of chakra 5 opens and goes so far in both forward and backward direction you can't even sense how far. But also notice on this one also 2 side chakras open, so you have a horizontal bar going crossways as well, running like with your shoulders but from the 5th chakra. And also notice one of those horizontal ones running side to side opened with the 4th chakra as well. And now we'll bring a bit of quantum of energy up again from chakra 4, and this time into the pineal. And this will fire and activate the 6th chakra, 3rd eye, and also the 7th chakra, and the 8th and 9th that run through the head as well. And it will create what, and we'll do this in a second, we'll do the inhale, exhale. It will create what looks like a pyramidal capstone, reminiscent of the thing, the shape on top of the Washington Monument, actually, which is, I forget what they call that shape, but it's like a 4-sided, I believe, pyramid. But this looks like it's made of super fine glass, but it's not glass. It's part of the crystalline matrix of the Aragon field. So this will open up and touch 4 points that we'll learn about more when we do the anatomy part. It'll touch 4 points in your head with its top point sticking out about 1 inch out of the 7th chakra. It will also, when we do this inhale and exhale at the pineal, it will also create an opening that is diamond shaped in front of your 3rd eye. So when your eyes are closed, right in front of your skin level, it wouldn't be as close as your skin, there would be the diamond shape. And this is a place where you can begin to learn to project through with your vapor body, like when you go to sleep at night, and you'll eventually be able to see through it as if you're looking through a little telescope into other worlds and other places. And it is through there that we'll be taking the journey to the Paragon Infinitum in a moment. So let's inhale up again from chakra 4, some of the energy up into the pineal, the center of the brain. And then exhale and starburst it out. And sense the capstone activating with this little tip sticking out of your crown chakra. Just about an inch. This is the beginning of activation of the internal Paragon complex that will allow for the restoration of the organic polarity imprints within the Mercator fields and a progressive becoming free from the reverse Titus Mobius time wave and restoration of the Christic time wave. Also involves untangling your brain and helping to increase the, theoretically, growth of neurons and neurological structure between the two hemispheres of the brain, bringing them into better synchronization, but synchronizing them through the right brain, where usually it is the left brain that tries to control. It's connected to the right hand. This time, the intuitive brain, the one that still can connect to the integral bridge most easily, will become the guide of the left brain. And this time the logic will learn to trust and understand and follow the intuition. So now tune into the feeling of your wave again, of your vapor wave around you and as you. And focus with your eyes closed on the diamond-shaped opening that is just in front of your physical body, right at the third eye. Right now you may see it or sense it just as a shape that has a membrane or might even look like a cloth pulled over it from the other side. We can permeate this and open that window that becomes a door to places of the eternal, such as the Paragon Infinitum. We're going to journey as our vapor body, our vapor wave body, in a moment, and we're going to pierce the darkness of that membrane and open that window that becomes a door. And in so doing, we will fly a little version of our vapor wave self through that window that becomes a door and into what we think we can remember of the image that we saw, where we saw the three Ashayana Din together and the top one with its center point. That is the center of the Paragon complex on the Fe Infinitum level. When we do this, we're going to bring the encryption of our wave as we are right now. Because as we are right now is fully encoded and encrypted into the pattern that is carried in the vapor wave. So we will bring the truth of our pattern as we are right now and bring it in as we go through that window that becomes a door. We do the hyperspace sleep directly into the interior Paragon Temple 1 of the Fe Infinitum, and we bring our signature to that place in our vapor wave. And once we're in that space, we will do one more thing before we return. And let us get there first. So again, sense your vapor wave around you and as you, and it's larger. It sticks up about 3 feet above and 3 feet below you and runs all the way through you. Now we're going to take a small quantum of that and inhale it into the heart chakra. And we're going to gently exhale it up to the pineal. And watch it stretch out to become a mini version of our standing, undulating vapor wave self. And right now it'll be at the pineal, standing vertically. We're going to inhale again and hold. And on the exhale, we're going to tilt it down to a horizontal plane and exhale it right through that diamond-shaped window. Directly into the core of Temple 1 of the infinitum, the Paragon complex. Sense the sound of the music in the room following you into that space, because it is a part of our collective experience right now, that is part of our wave imprint. So these sounds will actually be encrypted there as well. And these sounds, you may hear them sometimes in dream state. And if so, it means you're receiving transmission from the place where you seated your vapor wave imprint. You may hear symphonies come behind it. These are just small carrier waves of sound. Now sense yourself. You're in there, in the infinitum, in the core of this Paragon complex. It may be hard to see anything right now. Like a babe being born into a new world, you might see shadow and light until your eyes adjust. There is a space here that is the beginning of the opening of the place behind words, the space behind words, the place beyond thought, the space of eternal knowing. It is also frequently called the seat of the White Lotus, or the White Lotus Room. The seat of the eternal authentic self, infinitum. We'll bring the quantum back of your vapor wave. It has left its imprint there, and your window is now open, the beginning of your window that becomes a door. We'll return now, and when you return, when you go to your rooms tonight, remember your window. And even if it looks like its darkening membrane has grown back over, even if you can't quite see it, sense it's there, and know it is open. And you can again create a quantum of yourself and your consciousness as your small vapor wave. Inhale it up to your pineal and bring it back into the room of the White Lotus, into the Paragon of the infinitum, and begin to experience the knowing behind words and thoughts, the realities of the space behind words. It's recommended to go there to sleep, or if you feel troubled, you can go there, and you don't have to talk about your trouble in words and ask, oh please God source help me. You just go, and the infinitum will sense the disharmonic of whatever is troubling you. And if you just breathe from that place and breathe it into your body, the frequencies, the healing. Automatically, the infinitum frequencies will begin to heal and harmonize that disharmonic in the wave, dealing with it not as a bunch of words or pictures or ideas, but as an energy encryption that is disharmonic compared to the ever-flow, FE-flow encryptions of the eternal. So it will begin a healing on a much deeper level of the marketer fields. And you can trust that when you go to this place, this room of the white lotus, the space beyond words, through the window that becomes a door. From here, when you create from here, you create as direct cognition energy. When you heal from here, you heal as direct cognition energy. Know that you have affected change when you allow that to happen. And then bring yourself back and bring with it a peace in knowing you have thus just created something that was desired without words, with the core feeling, the core vapor flame of its reality, be it healing, and that's a good place to start, like personal healing and finding peace and knowing at a level that you feel comfortable, and those kind of things are very good to start with. There's many things we'll learn how to do with the window that becomes a door, but for now, opening it is the most important thing, and we'll revisit it again in some of the techniques we'll be using in the other sessions of this workshop. So let us bring our quantum back from the White Lotus room. Inhale and bring back our wave. Comes back in on the horizontal plane, and then exhale and it goes vertical in the pineal. And then it goes right back down and sits in a little gold and silver ball that's now a little sphere that's now glowing inside the heart chakra. The little golden silver ball is actually at the center of the small Ananda shield that activated in chakra 4 when we brought in the Ananda codes. It's referred to as one of the 7 eyes of Ananda, because each of the chakras shields will have one. So it's not like a 7-headed monster. There's 7 energy centers in the center of those shields that become spheres. Try to feel now as you breathe. Feel your large wave again, your vapor wave self, you as wave. And feel that every time you inhale that window, suddenly there's this lovely flow of Fe currents, of integral bridge currents that just come in and fill and energize your wave even more. And that comes into your plasma body level, and that seeps into your physical body level. And every inhale, that lovely flow comes into you and gives quantum of the eternal to you. And every exhale, it spreads all through your physical body, your plasma body, and your vapor flame. Sometimes you can just sit in quiet and move a little part of your wave to the White Lotus room in the space beyond words, thinking nothing and just breathing. And every inhale brings in the lovely flow, and every exhale spreads it through your body. It's suggested to try doing that as you fall asleep tonight. It's a good practice, actually, a healthy, happy habit, that the more you focus on something, the more you grow neural networks that are keyed to that something. We spend a lot of our conscious focus out there in the 3D world, and we create neural networks that perceive lots of the 3D world. It is useful and helpful to take time to spend some time in the space beyond words, in the infinitum, in the Effie infinitum paragon, white lotus room, just breathing that energy and letting it flow through you, because that experience also will stimulate the growth through neurogenesis of new neural networks that are keyed to those frequencies. And the more neural networks you build, they're like little highways. They start off as little dirt roads, and then they build stronger by the more energy, consciousness that passes back and forth. And they become little paved roads, and eventually they become superhighways and redirect and become the dominant neural networks that will be the dominant creators of the experience you see in your hologram. So it's time to begin putting a bit of time, and it doesn't have to be long periods. The strongest periods are right when you're waking up in the morning, before you get out of bed, to remember to go there, and right before you go to sleep, to remember to project there to sleep from. Because it is the clearest and most expanded space in creation that you can go to heal and learn and grow and develop. And as you do that, it will directly affect your body. Of course, these are theoretical teachings and not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any illnesses or afflictions, nor to replace any information from your medical professionals. That was required. So, relax and breathe. Try to be conscious while you're walking around. It's easy when you're meditating and zoning out and listening to music and a comforting voice. But then when all the hubbub and everybody's getting up, going to their rooms, I'm hungry, going to run to the bathroom, try to bring this state with you. Or to re-find it if you snap out of it and go, oh yeah, where is it? Remember your vaporwave body around you, and remember your window that becomes a door eventually. Remember your white lotus room. And try to keep that in a mindful way with you in everything you do. And you'll find yourself forgetting it exists 50 million times a day probably. But eventually you'll bring your focus back. Oh yeah, it does. And eventually you'll grow the neural networks that you don't have to keep reminding yourself, because it's just there. And then it will start to go on autopilot. Just like when you learn to drive a car and then eventually you don't really think about it, it just goes into body memory. So we're beginning the process of building body memory here through the neurological structure. I hope you've enjoyed our journey. There will be more techniques where we are using our vaporwave and more journeys before our time together at this workshop is through. We will say good night for the evening and bring your wave with you. Be your wave. And we hope you've enjoyed this evening's session.